Vata means movement, and when it is out of balance, we feel very restless, anxious, and depleted. This is Arpita, your yoga therapist and Ayurvedic practitioner. This class will help you to restore that stability, strength, and to help calm that racing Vata mind. So let's get started. You might need 2 blocks. It's a good idea to have the blocks close to you. And we're going to start at the back of our mat. So go ahead and lie back down at the back of your mat, keeping those knees bent to begin with. And let's have your hands to the lower abdominal, lower belly. Vata rules in our system. Vata, what we call the location, is colon. So that is where the main function or the main dosha where Vata resides in our body is colon. So just taking our time here, just focusing on that inhale and exhale breath. Breathing in and breathing out. Starting to pay attention especially to that exhale, the lower part of the body where Vata resides. And then go ahead and bring your legs in. So keeping those knees bent, the inner knee, the inner big toe is touching together. And as you inhale, I want you to go ahead and open into what we call this reclined butterfly position. And as you exhale, very gentle, slowly bringing that soles of the feet down on the floor. And we're just going to move in this variation, very gentle as you inhale, opening and coming into that reclined butterfly. And as you exhale, coming back into that starting point. And let's continue this movement. You can start with 4 to 5 inhale, and do the same count on exhale. And as we go into our practice, I'll advise you to maybe lengthen that exhale if you can. So if you're inhaling on a 4 count, then maybe your exhale is 6 count. Let's do that one more last final time. As you inhale, opening into that reclined butterfly position. Nice, and as you exhale, coming back to that starting point. Very good. Go ahead and hug those knees back into the chest. Do a little gentle rock here, side to side. So remember, too much movement or too fast movement can also aggravate Vata Dosha. So when you're practicing a Vata pacifying or Vata balancing flow, just be mindful that movement is very gentle and slow, and something that helps to ground and build stability. Go ahead and inhale and take your knees away from your chest. And as you exhale, draw those knees into the chest, Malasana. Take another inhale breath. Knees goes away from the chest. And then exhale, knees into the chest. When you're ready, inhale and reach your legs up overhead and take your arms to the back of your mat. And we're going to come in a single leg variation. So as you exhale, hug that right knee into the chest and have your hands on top of your right shin. Take another inhale breath, breathing in, arms reach back, right leg lift up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, hug that left knee into the chest. And let's continue breathing in. Taking your time as you inhale and exhale. Remember not to rush in the Vata balancing class. Take another inhale breath, legs up, arms reaches to the back of your mat. And then this time when your right knee comes into the chest, just pause and stay here. Take an inhale breath and stay here. So your right knee is hugging into the chest, your left leg is straight up towards the ceiling. And let's just do a simple rotation here into those ankle joints. So just moving into that circular counterclockwise and then clockwise. So Vata in our body rules our bones, joints, ligaments. So when Vata Dosha gets out of balance, you start to feel a pain or cracking or popping. So there is an element of pain in the joints, in the muscles, or you start to feel a lot of cracks and pops in your body. Go ahead and hug that left knee into the chest, both knees into the chest. And then as you inhale, reach both legs up and then arms to the back of the mat. This time you're going to hug your left knee into the chest on an exhale. Continue to keep your right leg straight up towards the ceiling, and again coming into that circular motion here. Vata creates a lot of dryness, a lot of cold when it's out of balance, and that's why sometimes our joints, our bones, we hear a lot of cracking and popping issue. There's a lot of stiffness also that Vata can carry in our body. And then when you're ready, let's hug both knees into the chest. Very good. A gentle rock here, side to side. And then when you're ready, roll to one side of your mat and then come up into that tabletop position. So finding that tabletop, wrist, shoulder, knees, hip in a line, and we'll exhale and come. Our first exhale will come into that child's pose. Next time, when you inhale, come into the table, and next exhale, keep the right knee bent, keep the left leg straight, and we'll move into our downward facing dog. So we'll use this gentle flow as we inhale back to table. We take a 6 count exhale, we move into that child's pose. Remember, slowing or longer exhalation helps that racing Vata mind. As you inhale, come back into that table. And as you exhale, left leg bent, right leg straight, coming into that downward facing. One more time, same sequence, breathing in, looking forward. And as you breathing out, maybe it feels good in your body. After exhale, you take a 1 second pause after the exhale. That helps great to calm the Vata mind. Inhale, come back to center. And then exhale, right knee bend, left leg straight, downward facing. Breathing in and breathing out. When your Vata is imbalanced or out of balance, sometime over lower back, you start to feel a tension in a lower back, hips, your sciatica nerves. Those are all governed, ruled by Vata Dosha. So pay attention to things like this. Okay, last one. Inhale, come back into that table. And then this time, bend your elbows and come all the way on the floor, on the belly. So once you come on your belly, let's bring your fingertips. Let's actually stay on the forearms first. So forearms comes down, legs are hip distance. And as you inhale, come up in a cobra with the right leg off the floor. And as you exhale, very gentle, bringing yourself down. Next inhale, lengthen your spine, use the back muscle to come up in a cobra, left leg off the floor. And as you exhale, bring yourself down. Let's do that one more time, please. Breathing in and breathing out. Remember, the breath is the leader in your practice, so breathe first and then brings the movement. Nice, take your time, inhale back into that table, and then exhale, sit back into that child's pose. Once you come in a child's pose, go ahead and bring yourself and come out. We call this Vajrasana. So one of the posture that helps Vata Dosha is also Vajrasana and Malasana, because digestion could be of when you have a Vata imbalance. So finding a spot and sitting in a Vajrasana, but we're going to move here in a flow here. So as you inhale, come up all the way into that kneeling variation. And as you exhale, come all the way back down into that child's pose with the hands to the back of the mat. Inhale, coming back into that kneeling variation, arm reaches up. And as you exhale, contract that lower abdominal, torso comes to the legs, hands to the lower back or back of the mat, and then chin comes in. Pausing here, staying here. Nice. Go ahead and bring your arms forward. Inhale and come into that tabletop. And then exhale, coming into that downward facing dog. You can keep your knees bent in a downward dog. And let's go ahead and walk your hands to the back of the mat in a Uttanasana, forward fold. Keeping both knees bent in a forward fold, grab hold of that opposite elbow and very gentle movement. So movement is good, but too much movement or a fast movement kind of aggravates Vata Dosha. Remember earlier I said Vata rules movement in your body. So anything that is volunteer, involuntary movement governs by Vata Dosha. All right, we're going to start at the back of your mat. We're going to come into Malasana, toe heel yourself, and come into Malasana variation, where your hands comes to the heart center. One pose that balance Vata, and not just the physical, but it does a lot of mind, body, emotions, is the pose called Malasana. So the energetic effect of this pose really grounds Vata Dosha. All right, we're going to start at the back of the mat in a Malasana. As you inhale, I want you to slowly take your time and come into that tabletop. And as you exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Next inhale, right foot forward between your hands, spin the back heel, Vira 1. So warrior 1. And we're going to move very slowly, very gentle. As you exhale, I want you to straighten that front leg, hinge from the hips, so you ended up in a long variation of what we call pyramid legs. Go ahead and bring your hands down, step back once again into that downward facing dog. Step that left leg forward. As you inhale, come into that Vira 1. So this is what we call the Vata pacifying salutation, if you have to do. So there's so many salutation in yoga. A lot of us are only used to of a sun and moon salutation. So as you exhale, straight that front leg, hinge from the hips, long variation of that pyramid, taking your legs back into that downward dog. Walk yourself to the back of your mat, coming into that Uttanasana, folding forward. Spin those toe heel yourself here, and you'll end it up in a Malasana. So we start at the back of the mat in a Malasana. Let's do this one more time, very slowly, very gentle, finding that strength and stability in the posture. So we breathe in into that table. We'll exhale into that downward facing dog. We'll inhale, step the right foot forward, spin the back heel. Take your time, try not to rush. Vira 1, warrior 1. You're gonna exhale, straight that front leg. See how far can you go? Maybe you're here, or slowly start to bring your hands down, and you'll end it up in a downward facing dog here. Next time, when you inhale, step the left leg forward, spin the back heel. Vira 1 as you come up. Then straight that left leg, hinge from the hips, coming into that long variation of pyramid, back into that downward facing. Walk yourself, coming into Uttanasana at the back of your mat today. And then toe heel yourself, and I'll wait for you to meet me in a Malasana. So this posture, Malasana, is great for elimination. So the energy of Vata is downward and outward. So anything that is eliminating out from your mind-body system, Vata governs that. Right, take your time. I'll wait for you to meet me in a downward facing dog when you're ready. And then inhale and step that right foot forward between your hands and come up into warrior one here. So make sure the front leg is straight and then reach your arms up overhead. Very good. And as you exhale, I want you to bend two in a warrior one leg and then come lift a little bit. So bring your shoulders in front of your hips. Hinge a little bit forward like a 45-degree angle. So you're contracting here on an exhale, the lower abdominal, that Samana Vayu is activating, and you're reaching your arms to the back of the mat, okay? Any point your hands get tired, you can bring it to the lower back, or you can bring it to that front leg here. As you inhale, I want you to straighten that front leg, reach your arms up overhead, and as you exhale, remember you decide where you want your arms to be today. Try to keep your gaze down towards the earth element to cultivate that stability, that groundness in the practice. And then let's pause and stay here. Go ahead and come forward. This is where your block comes handy. We're going to come into twist. So I want you to come on a ball of the back foot. Drop the left knee down. You have a block. Left hand rest on a block. And then reach your right arm forward. Take an inhale breath here. And as you exhale, coming into that low lunge variation of a twist. And then just staying here with the right arm reaches up towards the ceiling. Or you can bring your hand to that lumbar spine. Take another inhale breath. And then exhale, bring your hand forward. Both hands comes inside. You ended up into that lizard variation of a pose. And then as you exhale, back into that table and back into that child's pose with the hands goes to the back of your mat. And let's pause here. Start to notice, how are you feeling in your mind-body system? How is my breath? The next time, when you're ready, go ahead and come into that table, all the way back into that downward facing dog. Step that left leg forward, spin the back heel, Vata one. So take your time, first come in a pose. Make sure your hips are level. Get ready for that warrior one. And then straight that front leg. Reach your arms up overhead. Getting tall here. And as you exhale, coming from that 45-degree angle into that warrior one. So hands to the back or hands forward. As you breathing in, reaching up, looking down. And as you come in a exhale, warrior one. So where you have your drishti, your gaze, that matters in yoga. I'm staying here in that warrior one variation. Take another inhale breath here. And then exhale, go ahead and come forward. You have a block, bring your block close by. Come on a ball of the back foot. Drop that right knee down. Block really helps, especially when you're twisting. Take an inhale breath, reach your right arm forward. And as you exhale, 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 remember contraction, gradual contraction of that lower abdominal as you twist to your left side. So twisting poses do great when you have a Vata imbalance, especially in your digestion. So gas, bloating, constipation, those are your Vata type of an imbalance. Take another inhale breath here. And then this time, instead of going to the back of the mat, we're going to come in a Malasana in the front of the mat. So first come in a lizard variation. Nice. And then see if you can slowly, if you cannot come straight in a Malasana, then maybe come in a forward fold first, and then come in a Malasana. So see what works with you. Block happens to be close by, so it's a great idea to find that block and sit on that block. Nice, taking one more inhale, exhale in this pose. Doing this pose daily during the fall season, because fall is also Vata time of the year. So this is the time of the year that usually everyone's Vata Dosha gets out of balance. So poses like Malasana, forward fold, mild twist, those are great to balance Vata Dosha. Let's go ahead and bring your left hand down. Reach your right arm forward and up. And as you exhale and come into that twist. Nice. Take another inhale breath here. And as you exhale into that Malasana twist. Beautiful. Breathing here. And then exhale, bringing yourself down. Inhale and reaching up. And then exhale and twist into that left side. Take another inhale breath here. And then exhale. Inhale and come out. And then this time when you exhale, both hands start to walk a little bit further away from you. And again, you can use if you have another block close by. And then see if you can start to fold forward in that Malasana variation. Straight from here, take an inhale breath first. And as you exhale into Uttanasana, front of the mat, forward fold. You're going to bend your knees, bring your hands to the lower back, keep your knees bent, rest that torso on top of your legs here. And as you inhale, come in a chair first and then slowly come out. Nice. And then exhale, hands to your heart center. Beautiful. Reach your arms up overhead on an inhale. And as you exhale, bend your knees. First, come in a chair. So you can have your hands to the heart today in a chair pose. Take another inhale breath here. And as you exhale, come all the way. Bring that torso on top of your legs. Hands comes back to the calf muscle and then chin comes in. As you inhale, come halfway. Slide your hands all the way to that hamstrings. And as you exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana, forward fold. Bend your knees, root to rise, all the way come up. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Nice. Take one more inhale breath here. And then exhale all the way, fold forward. Step your right leg back and then left leg back, coming into that downward dog first. Bend through those knees and come in a tabletop variation. From here, from the tabletop, we're going to lift that right leg and we're just coming into that right side hip mandala. So we're just circling that right hip. So your lower back, pelvic down region is also considered or governed by Vata Dosha. So a lot of time you get a lot of stiffness in this region. So very gentle, finding that movement. And then we're gonna come in a pigeon variation. So straight from here, you're gonna bring your right leg forward into that pigeon pose, extend the left leg back. Before you come all the way down into the pose, first thing first, have your hands first plant, grounded here. Take an inhale breath and lengthen your spine first. And as you exhale, be very gentle. Try not to put your entire body weight into that front knee. So be very gentle as you slowly bring yourself down. So forearms comes down here. And maybe today you feel like just staying here, supporting your head with the block. Or some of us wants to come all the way down. So find something to support your head. Another great tool to add into the Vata pacifying flow. So supporting your head, supporting your limbs with something. Feeling that power, that feeling of that grounding. We're going to be here for another 2 to 3 counts of breath. Slowly take your time, walk yourself back. Now instead of going back into the downward facing dog, you're going to kind of roll to that right hip and then very gentle, move that left leg forward. And if this does not come easily for you, then maybe go back into that downward dog and then come into that seated variation. Okay, so finding that twist, that's what we're gonna go for. Left leg out to the side, and then making sure you're sitting tall, left hand back. As you inhale, reach your right arm up overhead. And as you exhale, first slowly moving into that twist, and then bring your arm leverage here to help you. Again, as you inhale, breathing here, lengthening your spine, and as you exhale, finding a little bit more twist on that left side. Go ahead and bring your right ear to the right shoulder. So you're basically tilting here, your right ear to right shoulder. You're getting a nice stretch into that neck and shoulder region. Again, when Vata gets out of balance, tightness, fatigue, depletion. You find a lot in the joints and muscles. Take another inhale breath and then come back to center. Slowly from here, we come back into that tabletop. So find that tabletop posture, and then from here, we're simply moving into the left hip rotation. So very slowly, very gentle. Notice how much range of motion you have in the left side comparing to your right. And then when you're ready, let's step that foot forward, external rotation. Taking the right leg back, maybe look back and make sure it's in a line here. First thing first, take an inhale breath first. Lengthen here as you exhale and ground down first. Breathing in, and then on next few exhales, slowly take your time. As you start to ground yourself here, and move forward into that pigeon. Staying on the forearms if you like. Definitely using the block to support your head here. So all the qualities of Vata that is usually get out of balance is usually when Vata's out of balance, you notice the dry, the cold, the mobile. Those are what we call the qualities that is out of balance. So in yoga, in Ayurveda, we say opposite balance. Like increases like, and opposite balance. So we use an opposite quality in our yoga practice, just like how we use in our food, diet, lifestyle. Same principle. we apply in our Vata balancing yoga class. Take another inhale breath here. And then slowly take your time, walk yourself back. Again, lean to one side. Slowly bring that right leg all the way to the left side. Take a second to first find that seat, that asana. And then right hand to the back. Inhale, left arm reaches up. And as you exhale, starting to twist first and then find the arm movement or the arm variation. Take another inhale here, lengthening your spine, and then exhale and twisting. Bringing that left ear to the left shoulder, tilting here, releasing into that right side of neck and shoulder tension. So poses like seated twist or lying down twist are great during fall, during Vata time, because it really enhances that digestive fire, the Agni, what we talk in Ayurveda. Agni is everything in Ayurveda. Take another inhale, exhale breath. And then this time, just come all the way forward. Let's come in the soles of the feet in a seated butterfly. We did the reclined version to begin with. We're going to come in a seated butterfly position. As you exhale, just hinge from those hips and just a very mild, gentle fold here. We're not going to all the way, even though you can, go all the way down. Try not to do 100%, kind of back out a little bit. So we're not looking more flexibility in this Vata pacifying class. We're looking more stability and strength in Vata classes. Take another inhale breath and then slowly bringing yourself out. Okay, we'll end our class how we started. On the back of your mat, take your time, lie back down. Coming into those windshield wiper legs, so knees are bent, hip distance here, mat distance, or you can do hip distance. And then as you exhale, both knees to one side of your mat. So when both knees are to the left, see if you can change your gaze to the right. For today's class, we can rest our hands down. So I'm gazing to my right shoulder and my knees are to the left, and I pause here. I inhale, I come back, so knees come back to center. As I exhale, they go to other side and my gaze changes to left side. See if you can start to soften your eyes, or maybe if you can close your eyes. I'm doing that one more time on each side. And draw those knees back into the chest and come into Apanasana. So knees are away from the chest, and as you exhale, they come into the chest and your elbows kind of bend to the side. And the name of this pose is Apanasana, and that kind of gives you a hint that it helps. Vata resides in the Apana Vayu, or what we call the main location is the Apana. Remember earlier I say Apana and colon, so they're all part of it. So even poses like Apanasana really helps to ground Vata Dosha. And when you align the pose like this with the longer exhalation, don't underestimate the power of the breath. You really start to feel your mind is getting a little bit calm here. Okay, knees are bent, coming into that final relaxation, or if it feels good right now in your lower back, then maybe start to straighten your legs here. Your hands can rest on a lower abdominal here. Closing your eyes, finding that few minutes of relaxation. Stillness is a key here, so see if you can find that stillness of the body first. Then only you can achieve the stillness of the mind. And breath helps in this. A longer exhalation really helps here. Take your time when you feel ready. Let's go ahead and start to roll to one side of your mat. And you bring yourself up into that comfortable seat. I don't know about you, but all of a sudden I feel very calm. I love teaching the Vata flow because it really helps to calm the nervous system. So take a minute to just kind of observe here. How am I feeling? The time you started to now, you should have a little calmness to your mind-body system. Bringing your hands to the heart center, bowing to your practice. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy this Vata pacifying flow today. Do comment below how you like this practice. I would love to hear your comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more Ayurvedic inspired yoga classes. Until next time, Namaste.